this baby loves the slop, loves it, eats it up, eats the slop, born to slop.
The year is 2020. Everyone's wearing a mask and standing a government-regulated 6 feet from each other.
Stop touching niggas with your hands!
Celebrities are more performative than ever.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try.
That shit is fucking trash, dog. Get the fuck off the airwaves.
And you're stuck in lockdown while all outdoor activities are limited to essential work only. You can't even get a haircut, so naturally, your shit is fried.
Hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
So how do you cope with society feeling like it's one step away from The Walking Dead? The internet, of course. Specifically, gaming. During the COVID lockdown era, gaming saw an insane increase of popularity I don't think we'll ever see again. And one game in particular seemed to carry us through the early days of those wild times as we tried to adapt to our new realities. The case of Among Us is an interesting one, I think. Despite existing since 2018, the game didn't really take off until lockdown 2 years later. It makes you wonder if the game would have even been nearly as big as it became had it not been for COVID. It seemed like everyone was playing this game. Even people who never played games before seemed to know about it. The game had content creators in a stranglehold I hadn't seen since the Minecraft boom. Every streamer was playing this. You couldn't go on Twitch without seeing everyone in the Among Us category. A simple yet incredibly fun game that could run on just about any platform, combined with people having nothing but time on their hands, created the perfect moment for this game to take off. It was simple. People missed being social with their friends, and Among Us gave them a fun way to do it from home. Admittedly, I was never really into the game, but I have to give credit where credit is due. That being said, I doubt even the developers of the game knew the amount of influence this game was about to have on the indie game scene going forward. When it comes to video games, once something becomes popular, everyone is looking to cash in. MOBAs, battle royales, hero shooters, we've seen it before. Fast forward to the current day, and we've seen countless indie games come along trying to recapture that same magic as Among Us. Some are more successful than others, some try to at least innovate, while others are more or less just copies. This in turn created a unique pocket of games being made that hyper-focus on the game with friends experience that gamers have lovingly coined as friend slop. So what's the big deal? Games where playing with your friends is the main focus have existed forever. How are these any different? Well, let's start with what friend slop actually means. So to my understanding, the term friend slop refers to games mostly indie where the main source of the game's fun is created through the social interaction of the group of people playing the game rather than the gameplay itself. Some examples of what people would consider friend slop could be Lethal Company, Repo, Peak, Lockdown Protocol, Golf for Friends, Phasmophobia, the list goes on. And I'm sure you heard of or at least played one or two of these games before. I played a few myself, and I'd be lying if I said I didn't have a good time while doing so. Ask any real gamer and they'll tell you the entire point of playing games in the first place is to have fun, regardless of the genre of the game. So why is it that some gamers seem to hate these kind of games so much? The general consensus seems to be that these kinds of games are only fun because you're playing with friends, and they're only popular in the first place because content creators overreact while playing them. Now, I can't disagree with the fact that some of these games do feel like streamer bait at times, and it kind of does feel like there's a new version of the same thing every other month, but I can't decide if that's necessarily a bad thing or not. I personally haven't noticed this having a negative effect on gaming overall, and if people are willing to shell out money to enjoy themselves with their friends while supporting indie devs, who am I to try and stop them? I will say I don't exactly like how disposable some of these games are. It feels like at most you play them for a couple of hours at the height of their popularity and never return to it again. After all, there's probably a new friend-like game that'll drop right around when you get bored of the current one anyway. Of course, this isn't true for all of these kinds of games. Some people could make the argument that if you need your friends to enjoy a game, then it isn't a good game in the first place. I can't agree with this myself, considering there are plenty of great games that just aren't very enjoyable solo. Mario Party is an obvious one that comes to mind. I have had some fantastic nights with my friends playing Mario Party, but playing Mario Party solo would be abysmal. That's just one example, but you could point at plenty of online multiplayer games that could apply to. Sometimes a party game is meant to be something you enjoy with your friends from time to time, and that's it. And as expensive as gaming is these days, it's nice to be able to spend a fraction of the cost of a AAA game to have something fun to play. I mean, hell, sometimes these games are more enjoyable than some of the bigger mainstream titles are.
In conclusion,
When it comes down to it, I think the hate for these games are way blown out of proportion, and it usually comes from the usual suspects. You know, the loud minority of gamers that just love to shit on anything they don't personally find enjoyable. Obviously, I'm not saying you have to like these types of games or you're just a hater, but some of y'all are just miserable. Maybe it really is because they don't have friends to play these games with, or maybe this is just how they get their kicks. Either way, I don't think friend slot games are this awful thing that some people believe it is. I think it's just another trend in gaming. That's gonna be it for this video though. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one.